Soy Export Council, and he'll be talking on the business opportunities today. Just now, thank you and welcome, Dr. Itapu, please.
Thank you, Mr. Bhattacharjee. Thank you very much for your introduction to my presentation. And I would like to welcome all the participants on behalf of US Soybean Export Council and Soy Food Promotion Welfare Association. A little brief about USEC, that is US Soybean Export Council. It's a US soybean organization supported by US soybean farmers. We have been working in India for the last 25 years for promoting soybean utilization, and similarly the Soy Food Promotion Welfare Association is the association of the soy food manufacturers in India, which we started sometime back in 2006, and now we are actively involved in promoting soy foods in the country, and trying to work with government organizations to promote soybean consumption and demonstrate the benefits what Kavita has discussed. Those benefits we would like to take it to the government and try to introduce in the mass feeding programs or as a business opportunity through programs like this. And I'm glad we have Laghu Udyog Bharati chairman and their team is here, and soy foods can be a very, very good opportunity for business, for entrepreneurs to getting into the business. The way we have seen the nutritional and health benefits of soy, and now the consumers are looking for healthy foods, not only because of the COVID, even before. In the last 10 years, we have seen a lot of growth in the functional foods or health foods. Soy fits in very well. Not only that, soy being one of the cheapest source of protein and also very functional protein, so it has a lot of business applications. So I would like to briefly discuss about that. What I would like to mention is this is a brief introductory presentation. If any of the entrepreneurs are interested, or is Laghu Udyog Bharati is interested, so we can actually do a little more or more serious discussions and maybe more serious presentations on different opportunities. Before going into that, I just would like to mention here, Dr. Kavita Reddy has already talked about the protein, importance of protein in nutrition. And now I would like to just mention about what is the protein status in India. And India, we have a very high prevalence of protein deficiency, whether it is vegetarians or even non-vegetarians. We all think non-vegetarians they eat a lot of meat, so there is no problem. But it's unfortunately it is not the case. 90% of the non-vegetarians are deficient in protein. The reason is we don't consume meat every day. Even if somebody is a non-vegetarian, in India we have about only about 27-28% vegetarians, and the rest are all non-vegetarians. But even the non-vegetarians, they don't eat meat daily. So for all practical reasons, we depend on vegetarian sources for our protein. So there is a issue on that, and also there is a gap in the availability of pulses and milk, and that the deficiency of protein will lead to growth and development problems, as what Dr. Kavita has mentioned. Another aspect I would like to bring it is the quality, what Dr. Kavita talked about. We also have a quality deficiency in India because 70% of our protein comes from cereals like rice and wheat. So we have seen the quality of protein, how not so good in cereals. So we depend more on the cereal sources for our protein. So we don't get good quality protein, and that is another issue we need to look at. And also one more aspect I would like to bring it here is globally the protein demand is going to increase in the next 20 years by about 70%. That means we are going to be about 10.5 billion people, and the protein requirement is increasing. And unfortunately, we had limited land, and the land is being slowly being converted into non-agricultural activities. So we are going to have a huge demand for protein, and this is going to be even bigger in India. This is just a brief introductory part for protein I would like to mention, but I would like to just brief you about the soybean. As I just mentioned, the soybean is a very, very versatile crop, and it has protein, it has fat, and it has a protein which is very, very functional as far as the food processing industry is concerned. So it can be processed into number of food products. This chart gives you an idea. This is not the whole applications of soy, but it is only some of the applications of soy. Is like if you look at the whole beans, they are used to make products like soy milk, tofu, soy nuts, soy sauce, snacks, edamame, tempeh, miso, and we have so many fermented foods in Northeast. We will discuss that in northeastern part of India. So many traditional fermented foods which can be included in this. These are all whole bean products. And also in the whole bean, you can look at something like a full fat soy flour, which again has certain applications in the bakery applications, in wheat flour fortification, gram flour fortification, and also to making protein bars. And at the same time, the soybean in the world today is primarily growing for its oil content. This is processed through a solvent extraction process where the oil is removed. As you would have seen from Dr. Kavita Reddy's presentation, that soy has around 20% oil. So this oil is removed through solvent extraction process. And after taking out the oil, we get something called defatted soya flour. So which is a very, very good source of protein. This particular product, defatted soya flour, is used to make products, even higher value products like soy protein concentrates, which have a lot of applications in the food industry, whether you are looking at noodles, pasta, textured vegetable proteins, or extruded snacks, or nutritional supplements, meat analogues, frozen desserts, dairy analogues, protein hydrolysates. Like there are so many applications for these protein products like defatted soya flour, soy protein concentrate, and soy protein isolate. Another process of soy is expelling process. Later in my presentation, I will briefly touch upon that. Is mechanical pressing of oil to take out the oil and make a low-fat soya flour. Again, that can be used in various products like bakery applications and a lot of other processed food industry. It can be used. This is a small, just a single slide which can give you an idea about how the soybean can be processed into various value-added products. Indian soy food industry, I just would like to mention, I thought I put a slide here, just I missed it. I will just wanted to show you this. This is what Dr. Kavita was mentioning. It's a very cheap source of protein. And here, this particular table gives us cost of protein from soy. If you are calculating the kg cost of kg protein from different sources. So what I have taken is I have taken defatted soya flour and soya buddy, that nuggets and granules, soybean, lentil analog, soy nuts, compared that with other protein sources like wheat, legume, rice, egg, chicken, peanuts, milk, and meat. So if you compare the protein, the cost of protein per kg protein, and you see all the top 5 or top 6 cheapest products are all, the 5 products are all soy-based products. And the cheapest is a non-soy product is wheat, which is about 208 rupees a kg. And you see the eggs, we all think egg is the cheapest source of protein. Unfortunately, even though I have taken cost of egg is only 4 rupees. Nowadays, it is going up to 5.5 rupees. Still, it is 700 rupees a kg per cost of kg protein from egg. So what I'm trying to say is here, we need a lot of protein, and also we India being an economic vegetarian population, so this is one good product which can actually meet our protein requirement at a lower cost. And also remember what Dr. Kavita Reddy has mentioned, it is a quality protein. The quality is at par with milk and eggs. So this is just a brief information. I thought I would share it with you, and I felt it is interesting, little interesting to understand the actual cost of the protein. So now I will go into the Indian soy food industry. If some of you or maybe all of you are interested in entering into soy food business, I thought maybe it's a better idea to give you how the soy food industry in India is doing. And if you look at globally also, soy food industry is doing very, very well. And this is one of the fastest growing segments in the country. And if you look at the consumption of soy in 2000, That is where we seriously started working. We, in the sense, US Soybean Export Council or American Soybean Association, we started working on promoting soys in almost late 90s, and we have taken standard as 2000. That time, the consumption was only about 100,000 tons, 1 lakh tons. And now it is almost 1.5 million tons, that is 15 lakh tons. So it is growing very, very well. And in some of the segments, we have seen almost 25 to 30% growth every year for the last maybe 10 years or so. And this is mainly driven by health conscious consumers. This is more so in this current situation, pandemic situation, because there is a lot of interest in health foods among the consumers. And people understand when you are trying to prevent a disease, if you are controlling a disease, the people understand cost effectiveness of a prevention of a disease over cure. So that is where food can play a very important role in preventing the disease. And also there is an increase in disposable income in the Indian population. So these are all the main drivers which are actually pushing the soy food market in the country. Not only in India, it's all across the world. We see this kind of trend. And if you look at products like soy milk and textured soy protein market, that is soy nuggets and granules or buddy market, we have more than 3,000 cottage scale operations of soy milk in the country, more than 300 textured vegetable protein, single screw TVP manufacturers using single screw technology are there. And there is a good amount of awareness about the goodness of soy, what Dr. Reddy has talked to us. People are getting aware. And even though they may not know all the benefits what have been discussed earlier, but there is a general perception that soy is good. But of course, it needs a lot more education. It needs a continuous education to disseminate that information on the goodness of soy. And we see very, very positive growth. So this is how the market is currently. And the product categories, if you look at it, again, there are so many products, business opportunities, like if you can make soy milk, tofu, textured vegetable protein, soy nuts, maybe wheat soy flour, fortified gram flour. I see one question in the Q&A chat box. You can make soy papad, soy-based traditional snacks, lentil analogues, and you can look at bakery products. Protein bars is another good segment which is growing, and fortified noodles, frozen desserts. Nowadays, there is a lot of interest in frozen desserts, soy yogurt, buttermilk, protein supplements. These are some of the categories which have good opportunity if anybody is entering into the business. So some of the key product categories I'm mentioning, and I'm going to give a brief idea about how much it would cost if you would like to enter into this business. Textured vegetable protein is really doing well, especially in the northeastern part of the country. This product is doing well because it is being considered as an economic alternate to vegetables and also to meat. So this is something which is doing very well. If anybody is interested, you can get into this business. And nowadays, in the last 3 years' time, we have seen frozen and shelf-stable meat analogues are coming up in the market, and they are growing. And these are some of the products like textured vegetable protein in different ways. You can use a technology called extrusion technology and make textured vegetable protein to give the texture similar to meat or a chicken. And then you can convert into different products. Products like this are already growing well in the Indian market. And you can do something like a high moisture meat analog using the extrusion technology, which will behave like a meat. So these are some of the textured vegetable protein opportunities. And if somebody is interested in this business, you can maybe, if you are looking at a 200 kg per hour, like nuggets or mini chunks, granules or meat analogs, your primary raw material is defatted soy flour. Of course, if you are looking at meat analogs, you may have to use soy protein isolates and concentrates. And the investment, if you look at a single screw extruder, mostly from India, maybe around 60 lakhs or so. And if you are looking at a Chinese extruder for textured vegetable protein, maybe it would cost about 1.2 crores. And if you are looking at a European or an American extruder, twin screw extruder, that would be around 10 crores, 10 to 15 crores or so. So the working capital would be around 40 to 100 lakhs. And that depends on if you are going into meat analogues and you need to have different ingredients and other things. And the space required maybe around 5,500 SFT is also okay, but you can take around 7,500 SFT is the space required for this. And soy nuts, this is another very good product which has a lot of opportunities in the Indian market, mainly because India has some of the very largest feeding programs where we are in the process of introducing these soy nuts as snacks as an alternate to eggs in the some of the feeding programs like school lunch programs or midday meal programs or the ICDS Anganwadi Center programs. We can do that. This can be made into number of different flavors. Maybe you can have the plain salted nuts, and also you can make something like soy coffee, which we have recently started working on that. And the good thing about these soy nuts is they have less fat than peanuts, more protein than peanuts, and there is no issue of aflatoxin. And also they are economical. You would have seen from my previous table, they are quite economical compared to the other nuts and have a good shelf life. And it is easy to make. The process is easy to make, and there are so many different varieties of soy nuts and soy nut based products like chicky. There are people who make soy chicky. There is something like soy nut butter, soy coffee, things like that. They're all available. And if you are looking at, somebody is looking at that, maybe if you're looking at a 200 kg per hour capacity, of course, it's not like you have to go for a 200 kg per capacity, but in a cottage scale, you can do a smaller scale also by using roasters like this. And you can make plain soy nuts, flavored soy nut butter, or maybe soy chicky like that. And the cost of the capital investment would be around 70 lakhs and maybe around 5,000 SFT you need to start this particular business. And this is in the Northeast. What I found is, of course, you all are familiar with this. We have number of traditional fermented soy foods in the Northeast. Each state has their own traditional fermented foods. And if you look at this is even more relevant during the pandemic, because in the last 1 year in the global market, there is a lot of growth we see in the fermented products like tempeh, natto, miso. It is growing very well in the global markets. And we have seen the export of natto and miso from Japan, and which is expanding to non-traditional markets, especially if you are looking at fermented products. If you are not used to consuming fermented products, not only soy, any fermented product, it is very difficult to adapt that product in the non-traditional market. So, but we see a lot of opportunities, a lot of growth in the fermented foods in the non-traditional markets. Mainly there is this in the natto, there is something called natto kinase. So because of that, there is a lot of interest in these fermented products. And as you know, in the north and northeastern part of India, we have a lot of traditional products. Mostly they are fermented except the part in Uttarakhand, but in the northeastern part, mostly fermented products. I'm not so much familiar with fermented foods in the northeast, but I listed some of the products. I'm fortunate to associate with one of the entrepreneurs. Actually, I think it's in our participant list, Colonel Doishe Sema from Nagaland. He's working on setting up a Akuni plant production facility in Northeast in Nagaland. So because in the fermented products in the Northeast are confined to small cottage scale or home scale, and we see a lot of interest in the commercial production. So this is something we are, if you are interested, we can help you. I just would like to put a typical flow chart for this fermented products. You need to do the cleaning the beans, washing, steaming, and the fermentation. And then in case of Akuni, there is an option of adding meat and pulverizing and baking it like molding and wrapping in a teak leaf or in banana leaf, and then drying and then vacuum packaging. So this is how you can do that. And this is what my estimation for the project, if you are to set up a fermented soy food project, is is like 200 kg per hour will be about 100 sorry, not 100 lakhs. This is yeah, 1 crore is the investment, and capital would be about 35 lakhs and maybe about 5,000 SFT. You can start this. And if anybody is interested, we can discuss this in detail. And protein supplements is another market. We see a lot of opportunities. This is because the nutraceutical market is growing very, very well. And because of the health consciousness, and we have disease specific nutrition supplements, as Dr. Reddy discussed, that soy has so much of health benefits, especially in reducing the risk of heart diseases and managing diabetes, or improving reducing the cancer incidences, or improving the bone health. So we can actually develop products, mostly dry blended beverage, and using different formulations. You can make products for child nutrition products, sports nutrition product, weight management products, or disease specific products. So these can be done, and there are so many products available in India, outside India, and especially during the pandemic for the last 1 year, we have seen a lot of growth in using the social media and this internet, like platforms like Amazon and other platforms are being used to market some of these nutritional supplements or health foods. So somebody can look at it. And if you are looking at a dry blended beverage market, maybe a 4 tons per day, dry blended beverage or nutrition products or protein supplements, you can have a maybe with around 30 lakhs of investment, one can start producing protein powders, nutrition products, and protein supplements. This is one good opportunity if somebody is looking at, or if any one of you are interested in actually test marketing. Maybe I should have mentioned this at the end, but if you want to look at before investing any business opportunity or any in the business in the Northeast currently, if you want to do a test marketing, you please contact us, me, Dr. Sharma, or the Soy Food Promotion Welfare Association. Maybe we can connect you with those people who can supply you in bulk, so which you can market it, and then you can go back and start your business. Similar, and also there are other value-added products like lentil analogues, high protein reconstituted rice protein snacks. These are can be done using a technology called extrusion technology, and you can do number of high value products using the twin screw extrusion technology. So that opportunity, that will be about, if you are going for a twin screw extruder from China, maybe it around 80 lakh rupees investment, you can start it, which can be used to make lentil analogues, diabetic rice, or fortified rice kernel, which is not a soy product, but there is a lot of interest in that. And snack foods, instant foods like upma and maybe instant khichdi, things like that you can do using this particular opportunity technology. And protein bars is another segment which is growing more than 25%. Mr. Bhattacharjee, I will just take another 2 minutes. The protein bar segment is growing very, very well in the global markets, and also in India. In the last 2 years, we have seen good growth in this, almost like 20% growth, because this is actually been driven by health consciousness and convenience. People are looking at convenience food, so you can look at this. A bar line, maybe 1,000 pieces an hour, nutritional bars or energy bars or protein bars or meal replacement bars you can do with an investment of about 35 lakhs. You can start capital investment of 35 lakhs. You can start manufacturing these bars and supply in the market. Expeller process is another opportunity I see, especially if you are with a low investment and would like to make soybean oil and also soybean flour. Especially in the Northeast, where you can get organic soy. If you want to process the organic soy without any chemicals and make oil, this is one good opportunity. This is our traditional kachi ghani ka tel process, where they mechanically press the beans or the oil seeds and take out the oil. Similarly, you can do that, and this can provide a good quality of chemical-free soybean oil. And if there is an interest in the organic foods products, you can look at this, and you will get the low-fat soy flour. Not actually a byproduct, but if you are looking at oil, it can be a byproduct. but which has a good opportunity in food and feed industry because it has around 45% protein in it. And there is an increasing interest in this product, and mainly producing organic lecithin, oil, meal, and flour. And this is how you will have oil extraction by extrusion aided extraction, and then that can be further processed. This low fat soy flour can also be further processed using a different kind of extruder to make textured vegetable protein. And this can be, it's a complete value addition opportunity, and small scale, relatively no investment, and you can do multiple products like textured soy protein, soy flour, soybean oil. And the investment would be around 70 lakhs, and maybe about a 5 ton per day is what we are looking at. And this is how you can this project would be. And in brief, what I would like to mention is I have only discussed about a few projects. There are so many opportunities. If the participants are interested, you can get in touch with us, and we can discuss and help you in identifying the opportunities, and maybe look at initially test marketing, and before you investing into the business. That is also one thing we can look at it, because usually for first generation entrepreneurs it is always a big challenge. So you can mitigate that risk of business through doing a test marketing initially and then go into the final business. This is in brief about some soy food opportunities. Some of the other will be discussed by Dr. Ratan Sharma. Thank you very much for your attention.